Real Break family, NXT UK, welcome every single one of you to another episode of our show. We're going to be discussing everything that happened in the Japanese street fight, Meiko Satomura against Blair Davenport, because we have a lot to talk about. You know, the match didn't end how we wanted it, so, you know, we're going to be actually analyzing and, you know, talking about all the situation. And aside of that, you know, we got a lot of backstage segments, and, you know, we got like number one contender for the NXT Tag Team Championships. So, you know, a pretty good show when it comes to NXT UK. As Jean Paul said, this is the hidden gem, because it's always a good show. You know, he's always like, we're smiling. So thank you, family, for being with us one more time. Paul, you know, championship match doesn't end quite well for Blair Davenport.
Yeah, and then just before we talk about this show, just want to say, you know, AEW Dynamite last night had a good match between MJF and CM Punk. Rest of the show, but we're excited to see, you know, the build with what's going to be, what is it, Revolution coming up? And stuff.
Yes, Revolution is coming up March 6th.
We should be back to normal, you know, covering next week.
Yes, exactly.
But
so
this
family.
episode, you know, was good. The only thing that we said, unfortunately, the championship match, which we'll talk about when we get to the street fight, you know, it didn't go, especially how Blair Davenport wanted to. But, you know, to kick off the show here, this was great, you know, the tag team championship match. And, you know, they did it the way it was supposed to be. Smith, you know, you had two, and also they had the tag team champions on commentary. They were good. I thought they added a lot to commentary, just like when Pretty Deadly was on commentary. You know, they played a good babyface, you know, commentators here. And this was good, this match. And even when it was two babyface teams, you saw the dynamic change, and I don't know what you thought. I mean, if you had to split any team, I guess it was these two, because they said they were the odd couple, but I really thought they were going to go all the way. I thought they were going to be the ones to even maybe dethrone Mustache Mountain. You know,
no, yeah, like, they're a good team. They're a good team, you know.
But
like,
they decided, you know, because Smith and Carter, they're the actual team. They've been in the team since they debuted here, and, you know, these guys were just thrown together. And you kind of saw, you know, each guy was kind of being a little cocky here. Jack Stars never wanted to tag out. He eventually had to make the tag after selling for the longest time. He made the tag to Dave Mastiff. Mastiff took over. Boom, 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 was taking everybody out. And he didn't want to sell back to Jack Stars. And then eventually, you know, they just made they hit the big assisted moonsault. He picks him up, flips in the air.
Well, also like a Mastiff missed the cannonball, so that opened the.
Yeah,
that
because
was
they
like
were arguing.
The
He's
last
like,
thing.
tag me in. He's like, no, Jack, stay right there. I got it. And then you're seeing the split and
the cracks in between that relationship.
I mean,
yes.
I'm not even gonna say a crack. I think they're just gonna go right into a feud. I really think, you know. But if they do that. Unfortunately for Jack Stars, I think that he has to put Mastiff over as much as
you know,
you got to put Mastiff over, because you got to at least give him an opportunity for the Heritage Cup, or even for Ilya Dragunov or something, you know, especially because you would turn Mastiff heel, I would think, and then Jack Stars would play the babyface in this. But, you know, good win for these two.
I agree with you, yes.
But good win for these two. I mean, they're going to give Mustache Mountain a great match. I'm looking forward to it. But I don't think any of these teams are going to beat Mustache Mountain. And, you know, Nigel on commentary was trying to cause cracks. He's like, oh, you know, Trent Seven, how do you feel about causing Tyler Bate losing the Heritage Cup? And he's like, he's like, no, we're friends still. It's legit. But
so, like, the things are still there.
Yeah.
They're taking forever to do it, but at some point they will do it. That's the only thing. Like you said, they were really good on commentary. Like, I was hyping the feud already. It's like, oh, they're going to give us a run for our money. But at the end, you know, we're Mustache Mountain. They're going to get the best version of Trent Seven and the best version of Tyler Bate. So, like, good match. And, you know, Carter, like Smith, I like how they won. And like I said, like Jack Stars and Mastiff, I would like to see Ilya Dragunov. Maybe like a very short feud, you know, nothing.
One match and done. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like, at least he gets, you know, another championship match, because he got one with Walter. So now, you know, or Ganta nowadays. So, you know, like, exactly. So yeah, Rumble messed up, changes their name, you know, and that's the state of the company. This is the only thing that is good, you know. By the way, family. So let's go with like Myla Grace. Like, she was actually having a match with Isla Dawn, and of course the Witch gets the win. Like, she's still, you know, the character is weird, you know, like there's still, like, we don't know what's going on. Like, she plays it weird, which is good, because we believe that, like, she's a woman that isn't hinged, so she doesn't have all the screws all the way in, and that's good, you know. And she gets another win, maybe at some point, and now we can say that she could actually play a number one contender against Meiko Satomura.
You just said exactly what I was going to say. I mean, with what we now saw happen in the main event, unfortunately, I think this or Ginny is, you know, going to be your number one contender here. And this was a great match. Isla Dawn, she's so good. And obviously, in this match against what was her name?
Myla Grace.
Myla Grace, yeah. I mean, look at her. She's like Alexa Bliss. She's tiny.
Not Jordan Grace. Myla Grace.
Yeah. She's really tiny, and Isla Dawn has good size to her. And I mean, she just towered over her, and she dominated this match. A little comeback, 619. Okay, tornado DDT, but no, Isla Dawn just picked her up, and she hit like a new finisher, like a new move to put her, to pin her, and then 1, 2, 3, and I mean a good dominant win, and that's what she needed.
Yes, and again, the character is still selling. Like, she has a lot of layers to the character too.
We talk about this show and how everything about it feels like real. And they even said about this, with her trinket she collects. They're like, there's no way there's actual magical powers, but it's the placebo effect. She believes that they give her powers. So then, it's all in her head.
Exactly.
So they ground it in realism, because that's something, you could think, she's just crazy then. She doesn't have
exactly.
powers.
No, it's actually, If we don't believe that, and a great example is like Space Jam, when they drink the water. And there's not even water, and that when you have some of that water there, right there, like you said, that's the best way to explain the placebo effect. Is that so? Hopefully now Meiko has a new contender in Isla Dawn. She needs it, because out of all the girls, the one that she hasn't had an opportunity is her. So there you go. Why not talk about that? Also, Paul, we had, like you said, a lot of segments for what is going to be in the next weeks to come, like Di Familia against Nathan Frazier. I don't really like that, but like they jump him.
Yeah, see, I like this just because the way it was filmed. Okay, that's, hey, we want to catch Nathan Frazier. He's leaving quick. We're going to get some words. Oh, hey, Di Familia. He's
not
like,
starting.
Yeah, and he's just like, they're bullshit. They're just Tio Man's, thugs, whatever. And his car don't work. So the cameraman or camerawoman, whoever it was, they were like, I'm going to, I'll help you, see if we can figure out what's wrong with your car. And they jump him. But it was like realistic, because the camera person, they set the camera down and they were like, oh my God, somebody help. Not like when they just filmed the guy getting the shit.
Like, you're getting your ass kicked. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least it was a little more realistic. But unfortunately, we do see backstage attacks happen often. So it's like this one just feels like any other one. It doesn't feel like special or anything. But I mean, this was all right, and he's gonna have a match against Tio Man, and I think there's got to be something where Tio Man goes over with interference, obviously from Di Familia, and then we got to see, because I just want to see the one-on-one feud, him and Regal's son.
Dempsey, Charlie Dempsey.
Yeah, Dempsey, yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be great. Yeah. It's gonna be great, and like you said, that was one of the segments. We have also Amel with Nina Samuels, so like she's talking about like the match with Jeannie, but she's like, of course Nina interrupts. Tell me about how Jeannie can like kick your ass and everything, and she's like, we're gonna settle this in the ring. So Amel, another win for her, because she got a loss. So you go, they still have faith.
And I gotta tell you, Amel is, besides Meiko, I think she's probably my favorite, woman on this brand, because everything is legit. She has that intensity in the ring. She keeps getting better. And she didn't have a long bullshit promo here, back and forth with Nina Samuels. She was like, you attack me, that's bad enough. Now you want to attack my fans and attack my work ethic and everything else and what I believe? No, we're going to settle this in a ring.
Exactly. No, it was good.
It was right to the
point. It was good. The one that something that you always have asked, can you show me the A-Kid in a different light? Hey,
this was bad. This was bad.
It's bad, but like, for example, the point is like, hey, you said the A-Kid doesn't have a character. They have no charisma. He's absolutely like, really bad on the mic. Hey, he's trying to train Saxon Huxley. He kind of like be a gentleman. He kind of like he's learning, teaching him math, classical music. He's training like chess games.
Yeah, like how to eat properly and everything.
Eat properly, how to be a gentleman, how to be, like more composed, like how like a Jack Gallagher at some point before the accusations of the movement and everything, but. And at least they're trying to give these two guys something, and that's what I appreciate.
And also,
because they're completely lost.
I know we don't have a picture, but can the A-Kid, can his shirts be any tighter?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that. I'm like, dude, can he wear like? Can somebody just get him a shirt that fits properly? It looks like he's wearing a
you have shirt. To show like the nipple, right? I don't know.
It looks like he's the Batman armor from Batman Forever. Yes.
When you see like and you have the nipple is actually made of steel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on. I don't know,
yeah. Exactly. No, I don't like that.
This if they're gonna be a tag team or something.
Yes.
I mean, hey, that's fine, but this humor, this fell flat for me. Maybe the UK audience, maybe that's something they, but
they appreciate it more.
No. Yeah, but I don't even think so. I just think that this was just a bad segment. But we saw A-Kid sell it. the best he could. Huxley's just a crazy character. But yeah, no, this
It's a little better, at least for the way I say it. It's just because it gives these guys something to do. They can play with like this. So also we saw also like Gallus boys going with like also like Noam Dar. You see Shaw Samuels right there because the Supernova sessions are going to come back, and they said that the first guest is going to be Jordan Devlin. So the feud with Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah, I love how he's like, oh, we saw you. He's like, oh, put me, Joe Coffey, to beat you on the betting board, and he's like, oh no, betting's closed. Sorry, So he's like, oh, well, I'll be your first guest. Oh, we have a real superstar, Jordan Devlin.
Yes, so they were making fun of like Gallus boys. Yeah. So you see, at some point, Joe Coffey and then Noam Dar.
And then did you see the bullshit handwriting when Wolfgang took the thing and he wrote Gallus boys? It's like a scribble. It was like, what even is that?
Man, he couldn't even do it, right? So now we saw that, and also now we saw Gradwell that he's actually going to have a match with Kenny Williams. You see, like there's a lot of things going on NXT UK, so which is good.
Gradwell, we've been saying it for the longest time. When he was a heel, man, this guy has such charisma. He's so good. We wanted to see every feud he's in, even though he puts people over. We're like, this guy's great.
Yes.
This is a feud now. I think he's going to win this. To me, when I see this guy and I see these promos, we've been saying it. We're behind this guy. We think this guy, especially now as a babyface, should get pushed. I think this is the next Heritage Cup champion.
Oh yeah, no. Hopefully, like
I think so.
If he goes over in this feud, and then they give him like another believable win, another important win. There you go. You have a guy that is a good wrestler, and I said great in the mic, can play both. There you go.
Yeah, and maybe if Dave Mastiff, after he beats Jack Stars, maybe if he doesn't go for Ilya Dragunov, maybe him and
that could be a good feud also right there. So like they have a lot of opportunities on NXT UK, so which is good. We already talked about all the segments. Now let's talk about the meat and potatoes. Japanese street fight match for the NXT UK Women's Championship. Meiko Satomura against Blair Davenport. It was supposed to be on paper. We didn't know, but like Jean Paul kind of like always says, hey, when this toy is allowed, hey, like the quality of the match kind of goes down. Why? Because it's just like easier for just the wrestlers to pick the toys and then start beating each other up. Despite of that, it had a lot of intensity, roughness, very Japanese style, like they said. I like, Meiko like dominating, going a little bit about her zone. But Blair Davenport just actually, they were saying in commentary, like for Blair Davenport, this is actually where she thrives, when she's actually better than this. So what did you think? And then we get to the bad part.
Yeah, leading up to, Blair Davenport, she comes to the ring with a kendo stick, but that didn't do her no good early on. And then, there's these spots on the outside, but eventually she takes too long. And Meiko uses the chair, hits Blair in the midsection, goes back in the ring, but she gets a pair of nunchucks before she goes in. And I don't know when they were when they were legalized, or if there might still be illegal, but I know over in like in the UK and those other places, nunchucks were, in the United Kingdom, nunchucks were illegal. So that was, for
Michelangelo. That's why Jean Paul loved it, because Michelangelo.
Exactly. I popped even more when she pulled the nunchucks out. But I don't know what you thought, man, but when she whacked her with those nunchucks, especially the second time, that looked like it hurt.
Yes.
When she hit her in the back, and even Meiko had like a grin on her face, like, oh shit, like I think I really got her there. And I think Blair gave her a receipt then, because drop kicking her twice in the face with a chair.
Oh yeah.
and that chair really hit Meiko in the face good. But they were just really stiff with each other, even with the kicks and the strikes and everything. I know you had a picture where she had the chain wrapped around her foot and a big kick right to the, right to the chest. Like she just ate it. There was no
way to sell it. No way to like avoid it. There was no way to get out of that
kick. And this was good, but then back in the ring, Blair starts taking over again. She has the turnbuckle there in the fingers, and then Meiko gets out of that. And she goes right into the STF, but she can't lock it in because, the fingers were just...
selling the injury good also.
Selling the fingers, and that's what you think, oh shit, here's the downfall of the champion. And we really thought, tell me what you wanted, or who you wanted to win, and then who you thought was going to win. Like
at this point, I'm thinking Satomura has the injury, so easily Davenport can win because like she grabbed the kendo stick and she starts beating her up, right? And then she had to let go of the hole.
But if who did you want to win though? Did you want Blair to win, or did you still want Meiko to win?
I think Blair was like the right choice right now because just Blair, Meiko has got a really nice run, and there's not really. This is like they got this girl to dethrone Meiko, so I was thinking like, is it his time? And Meiko did really good as champion. She dethroned Kaylee Ray, so that's good. And that's a good progression from champion to champion. Is you go from like the final boss, she did what she had to do. Now you're gonna give her a girl that like is as good, but she can be healed with it. So.
Yeah, and also this would be a good way for a rematch because it was you had to beat me using the weapons, blah blah blah. You can't beat me in an Iron Man match or some kind of match. They could do another rematch, another gimmick rematch that's maybe more wrestling oriented. But eventually, Meiko was in a submission and she got to the ropes, but then they were like, oh, there's no rope break. But then, she let go anyway, and then
they had to tell her, like, Meiko, there's no rope break.
Yeah, and then she did, but there is rope break right here.
Right here it is. Yeah.
Cover NXT UK every single week, and Blair started beating her with a kendo stick and everything. But then it was just like everything was ground and pound, the weapons. But then all of a sudden it was, oh, let's go high flying. Meiko goes up top, and then Blair goes to the outside, and then kicks her down, and then it's like this double stomp, and you're like, what is all this high flying, cruiserweight action all of a sudden? This is so out of place. And when she hits the double stomp, she lands, a big scream, and you think, oh man, okay, she's just selling it good, and the ref runs over and throws up the X, and that's never good. You never want to think it's a work. And it wasn't here because they showed the replay. Even Nigel was like, "Yep."
I have them all the pictures right here, Paul. Yeah, I have them all. Like, yeah, I got like you can see like for example, this one is over. This was like this is when she flies. This one is when she flies, and that one is like right here is like when she's like like hopefully said the injury, the X. But here's like when she twists the ankle right there. As she lands on that like left foot, and then she twists it, and that completely ruined it. And she couldn't get up. And I don't think it's broken completely, but she probably gonna have a few months.
I think it's probably sprained, and it probably hurts like hell. She might have even tore some kind of maybe a muscle or something in there, but hopefully not like an ACL or anything like that. But
when they came with all of this, she's screaming in pain. You could tell that it was done. It was done. And
then even Meiko kind of looked and was like what's going on? Like,
look at the Meiko expression right there. She knows it's like, oh, it could have been a great match, but unfortunately, she had to do this spot.
Yeah, nobody wants to win like this. And obviously, if she was prepared to drop the title, she was looking forward to put her over, in this match. And unfortunately, it's like, oh, that sucks. So. I think you should wait and see how long this injury is going to be. And, this is the only thing I'm going to say that some people might consider mean, and I don't think it's mean, but hopefully she uses it as a learning experience to go, maybe I shouldn't, do these dives to the outside like this. Like, is that really worth it? Like, I could have been champion here, but like, I decided to do this move.
Yes, sometimes these type of moves are unnecessary.
What are you going to remember next week, you personally? Are you going to remember, oh yeah, when she did that double stomp? Or are you going to remember her holding up the belt being champion?
Yes. Yeah, no, this type of like moves are like unnecessary. Like if it doesn't add to the story, don't do it.
Now, if you did it into the ring and then you could land on your back, that's fine. But usually people don't want to land on their back on the outside. They always try to land on their feet, catch themselves, whatever. But on the outside, no, it's not. It's not a place to be jumping. But yeah,
it's not a place. And unfortunately, like you said, it cost her the match. Now she's probably injured. Now she's going to be away for a few months. I mean, that opens the door completely for like another match because you can rewrite the story and now Blair can say, "Hey, I got injured because of you." Whatever. She can just put all the blame in Meiko, and
the only thing I think of, I wonder if they're just going to do like a women's battle royal or something.
Yes,
just throw, but because I don't really. To me, you don't need to do that. It's Isla Dawn. We already mentioned it.
Yes.
Me, I would have Isla Dawn. Maybe beat somebody up. Have another match or something, or not even have a match. Maybe just a promo or something.
Oh yeah.
And then but then afterwards call out Meiko. But this is just unfortunate for Blair Davenport, and to close out here, the only thing hopefully it doesn't look too bad. It wasn't like Joe Theismann. It wasn't like Sid Vicious. It did. Hopefully, it's only a couple weeks, maybe 2-3 months at most. Hopefully, it's not very long. You can work her back in the storyline, get the rematch. and keep it on the ground, keep it legit, and then hopefully we can crown.
It's not about like high flying moves. It doesn't add to the match. It doesn't add to the story that they're trying to tell. Stay away from that, especially if you're going to end up like this.
Because unless that was what was going to pin Meiko Satomura, there was no reason.
Exactly. There's not really you could always use another move. Family, thank you so very much for the attention, for the love that we get over in the social media. Don't forget to keep doing so. Subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and also share this link so more people can be exposed to the original Rope Break. Where else can they find us?
You guys follow us, Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, and of course right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
And you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...